All right, back we go, doing something different in this video. In this video, let's see if I can turn this a little bit. This video, I have a little thumbnail, little Indiana Jones theme. I have it enter the temple to find the prize, avoid the snakes, or you could die. Find these penny stocks and escape with the prize. Enter now, and 4 penny stocks will be revealed. I was looking around and found these 4 penny stocks. Actually, one's not really a penny stock, but that I think have potential. Swing trade. Um, they're very good positions technically, and I like these like a longer term play. So let's take a look at it and see. Excuse me, if we can find these big runners here. And I think I'm going to start off with OVID. Let's check it out. All right, let's look at OVID. This is an interesting stock. Um, Therapeutics, 35 million float. It's not bad. Short growth is flat because it dropped huge. Market cap 156 million. Cash 86 million. Debt 91 million. Insiders own 43%. It's very good. Institutions 35%. It's good. Debt says zero. I'm not sure if that's right. Enterprise value 65 million. So it's overvalued. They're saying. Let's look at it focuses on developing medicines for patients and families living with rare neurological disorders. The company was founded by Matthew Doring in April 2014 at his headquarters in New York. New York. All right, buy side I got 60,000, 10, 75, 5, 10, 15. So a lot of buy sides. I don't see no sells on this. Let's take a look at FinViz. Let's see what they say here on FinViz. So minus 76 million income, not good. Sales 6.9 million, 41 million float. Let's see what the latest is. Ovid Therapeutics a good position to deliver on growth plans of Simply Wall Street. Announces additional to Nasdaq Biotechnology Index. Um, December 2nd. Why this imploded? And let's read back. When this happened December 2nd, this was a nightmare. Pfizer BioNTech vaccine gets temporary authorization. Ovid's this trial disappointment. Their phase 3 Neptune clinical trial of OV101 for treatment of Angelman syndrome did not meet primary endpoint. So that was not good news. So that's why this dropped. And let's look down further. All right, so what do they do exactly? Let's see. Medicines for neurological disorders, United States. It's developing OV101 drug candidate, which is in phase 3 for syndrome in adults. Was that OV101? Did it say that? Let me look further. Yeah, that was OV101. So OV101 was phase 3. It didn't do well, so that's a big drop. Completed phase 2 of Fragile X syndrome in adolescent young male adults. OV935 drug candidate, which is phase 2 for deficiency disorder for Dravet syndrome and spasm rare epilepsies, OV881 microRNA gene therapy. What else they say here? In collaboration agreement with Takata Pharmaceutical Company, license agreement, strategic research collaboration with Columbia University, Irving Medical Center, license agreement, Angelini Pharma, develop, manufacture, and commercialize OV101 for Angelman syndrome in Europe. Company was founded 2014, headquartered in New York, New York. Okay, I said that. So, yeah, a lot of phase drugs. That one didn't do well. Let's look on StockTwits. Are they saying anything? Guys, like I love beat down stocks. That is true too. Um, just reading down, oversold, of course. All right, so let's look at the chart. The monthly. So this came about May 31st, 2017. And then you had about a 15 move. This one all the way, for about a year, went sideways, went down. Found this like two line. In 2020, we exploded up to seven. And then go to the weekly, you can see what happened here. I have a big trend line from 2017 all the way down because you can see the moves here and then the big drop. And then the low is still getting higher though. This low was 150, went to 2 and 255. So the low has been holding. So you want this low to hold here. Now on the daily, you see the crash from excuse me, 2019 all the way down. Then we exploded up in this. When this crashed in March, like every stock with Corona, this went 2 to 9 plus. That was a huge move. And then we battled, see the trend line back and forth, back and forth. We exploded up. This is when we dropped. That was the failed drug. And now you come back here, 325, didn't bounce, went again, 275. Then it found this 225 line. And, it looks like the bottom's in. When you have a big drop like that, like how much can they push it down? So 225 line, and then you're what, 250 right here. So you have the 1320 wrapping around now, going sideways. You want this side to hold and start to creep up. Other drugs, maybe they'll get into. Do they have COVID news too? I'm not sure if they're in a COVID space. Just reading back here. Anything that says COVID? Mm, looking, I don't see anything here. But yeah, they have other drugs, a lot of phase drugs going on. So when you like this happens, you have a big drop. This drops 675. This is over a double, almost like a triple drop where it's at now. The buy side is very good at this point. When you're at 225 and you have this big gap above, um, chances are this is gonna at least slowly start to creep up and get to this 325 line. First 275, then 325. After that, I don't see nothing here back here. I mean, that doesn't involve this really. The only thing I see recently is this 5 line. Look at this here in June, September, November. So this is longer term play, a hold, a swing. I want this to do this. I call it two. Back from the graveyard play or back from the dead. So when it goes down here, it's like dead. And then you're in the graveyard, you're buried. Then you start to come alive. It's almost like Dawn of the Dead. You come alive and you come back and then you rise from the ashes, rise from the grave. And then look at this. You start to creep up, make this whole move up and you explode up. So this is happening now. Could be a little bit early. Um, but I think we can get to this 3 in the bottom of this gap, maybe 325. Then maybe 5. If this gets good news, this stock, any other phase drugs, I think we can get up there. So, excuse me. Yeah, this is technical, and a lot of these phase drugs, when they fail, sometimes it's not as bad. Or, I didn't read into it how bad it was, but there's other drugs too. So I think they push this down a little too far. That happens a lot. And to the long side is my bias now. So big thing on this is you want 225 to hold. It can do whatever it wants in here as long as that keeps holding. It's very strong. So look for that area now. Watch this day to day. It might not move every day, and just keep that a watch. That is a big play there. All right, let's go to where we go next. Let me see the stock. METX. Let's check this out. I think I might even did a video on this. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see what this is about because I like this chart pattern. All right, this is a Me10 eTech X Education Group, Float 6 million, so low float. Short growth 1.52%. Market cap 102 million. Cash 30 million on hand. Not much listed. Insiders own 88%. It's very good. Insider institution 6.92%. 76 million in debt. It's valued at 151 million, so it's undervalued. Profile engages in providing comprehensive service portfolio comprising general adult English language training, ELT, junior ELT, and overseas training services. What else? It offers online and English language related services to students in a wide range of age groups. Headquartered in Shenzhen, China. Such a China play. No insiders information. Now, what do we say over here at FinBiz? Income minus 37 million, sales 103 million. They have a float 15.69 million. Let's see, January 8th announces completion of its offered exercise warrants at a reduced price. Change of auditor January 6th. Provides updates on ACBC brand December 31st. It pre-launch sale Korean and Spanish courses. That was December 30th. Credited 2021 most famous brand in international education industry. So not much news recently. Let's see down here what FinBiz has to say. 4 segments: general adult English, online training, junior English training, Chinese students and professionals. And what else is that here? Learning centers. It has 148 learning centers covering 36 cities, 18 provinces. So there it is. It's a China place. You got to be careful. You don't get exactly the news. But as far as a chart, yeah, this chart is setting up huge, I believe. When you have a move like this, let's get it a monthly. Yeah, this came all the way from March 2020, and we're going down. We're going down. See this wedge forming? See there, and then let's get to the weekly. The weekly's pretty good. See this? So we formed it right here. We went down, touched 10, went to 12, and down we go again. A little bit of sideways to 3, down we go again. Now we're at 2. And let's get to the daily here. See it? Big down, V shape up, wash down, another V shape up. The thing I see too is increased volume. Look at this volume here, January. Have you seen that before? No. So that tells me accumulation. This candle here was 7 million. This candle. And look what we're doing here. So we're going back and forth. It's like 175, 2, 1320 EMA coming across. And you have an open gap. So you have a big gap here to 3. And so it's a running cross here sideways. Now the thing I want this to happen here is, I can put a line here too. Put a line right here at 175. See this? You want this to hold. 175, you want it back and forth. You want this to slide out of this wedge, these lines, and I want it to go sideways here, and then start going up. Yeah, if you get any type of news, this will break 3 plus. And that's what I believe is going to happen. But we need 175 to hold, and you need news, of course. You need some sort of good news, unless it's a pump or something happens. It's pretty low float. So that's the story in this. This is a technical pattern where you've reached sort of a bottom here with accumulation volume. You have stochastics riding up. That's also bullish. And we've been going about a month sideways. Look at this now. Sideways. Looks like it wants to break up a little bit, but not quite. Let's get to the 4 hour. See this sideways? We're going back and forth. The 2 hour. You can see the 1 hour. See this? Look at this. Back and forth, back and forth. So, yeah, the bias is the upside because you have that gap above and your low's holding. So, insiders own 70% on FinBusinesses too. So 88% on trade ideas. So I like this technically. It's a China play. You got to be really careful, but keep an eye on this because I think we will explode up. I mean, if 175 doesn't hold and this isn't the move, then it's going to go down. Then it's off. Like every other trade, it's not going to work. But it says big potential. I really like this. So keep an eye on news on METX. All right, where we go now? All right, MKD. Let's check this out. All right, let's take a look at this. This is another good technical chart. Molecular data incorporated 92 million float. Short growth is down 79%. It's really good. Market cap 78 million. 8 million in cash. Revenue is really good. 1.9 billion. 32% insiders, 4% institutions. Current debt 13 million. Enterprise value undervalued at 90 million. Let's take a look. What they do too, technology-driven platform in China's chemical industry, connecting participants along the chemical value chain. Integrated solutions is e-commerce solutions, financial solutions, warehousing, logistics, SaaS suite, solve pain points, traditional chemical industry. Company is founded by Don Liangjiang Li and Li, 2013, headquarters in China. Another China play, you gotta be careful. No insider data. Yeah, this is a lot technical I like about this chart. It has income minus 29 million, 2.4 billion sales on Finviz, 35 million float. Let's take a look at any news here. They have on Simply Wall Street what shareholder ownership structure looks like. Before that change in chief financial officer, December, public accounting firm register, what was October. There's been no news on this. This is like super quiet Chinese stock. You're getting no information on this. So, e-commerce, Republic of China, chemical community app, Moku data, Wixen account, other ancillary platforms. So this is like it's a strange play. There's not much news on it. It's a technical chart, which I like the most. Let's go to the monthly. See this wedge is formed 12/31/2019. Straight up candle, then down we go. Weekly 2020, then we go down, hit a tail, 2 line, up to 3 line, then back to 1 line, and then here we are now. Now let's look at the daily. This goes to June, bouncing up and down, and rise up. The rate where the trend line is, not a coincidence. Right at this 325 line. Then he crash hard. And then we go to 125, 150. Slid sideways. This move, big volume these days, but it didn't move. This candle here, it didn't move at all. For that big a volume, 10 million did nothing. Now we're down here, it's going down again. Now we're right at 80 cents. You have 1 line above. A big volume here. And look at the wedge form. The main thing is it's a technical falling wedge where you have high to low and low is getting tighter. It's usually a 5 point move. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 is more like a cluster. So 5 should be next. It should be a 5 point move. It's going out next. But is it definitely gonna happen? Not necessarily. Like anything else. Hasn't shown anything like it's coming up. It's just going sideways. We might slide here of 80 cents. If this slides 80 for a while or it just comes up, this week, that's a great time. And where I'm looking for a target, anywhere from 1 to probably 175, that wick here. So this can really explode. And, if something comes in news, it's been quiet. It's like it's building. It's like a volcano building. So you're going down, down. Look at the tightness of it. going to go one way or another. Either it's going to go further down, like down drop, which is still possible too, or explosion up. But I'm favoring explosion up, and we'll see. So I'm looking at them buy levels. Now this right now, 80 cents is big. You don't want this to go down. I don't want it to go down further. This is pretty much as tight as you can get. If it goes down further, 75 will be the last stop, or else it's going down further. Then it's not going to work. So look at this technically. Keep this an eye on this because this could really explode. This could be even a great day trade. And yeah, just watch that at this point. It's a very interesting chart building. All right, last one, which isn't really a penny stock. We're going to SWI. This is Solar Wind. This isn't a penny stock. All right, so float 68 million, short growth 123%, market cap 5 billion, cash plenty 424 million, revenue 1 billion, assets 5.45 billion. Insiders own 78%. That's good. Institutions 18.49%. Do have a lot of debt, 2.3 billion, but enterprise value for this is 6.43 billion. So this isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Where they do engage in the provision of information technology, infrastructure management software, network management, systems management, database management, IT security, IT help desk, and cloud services. Company was founded in 1999, headquartered in Austin, Texas. So insiders, 2 million buys and 361,000 sells. Where were they buying? Does it say here? They have a lot of zeros. That means it's probably is already priced in or something like that. But a lot of buys. And this is another good technical chart I like. Finviz has income 38 million, 1 billion sales, 64 million float. What else they have here? Class action lawsuit because of the drop. That happens. You'll see that if you look at stocks, any penny stocks, you'll see like they're always being sued for these when the stock drops, whatever, like $100 to $5. It's that happens all the time. So when it did drop, what was the drop on this? Let's go back. Wow, it doesn't go back. There's so much writing here. There's like you talk about tons of information on this. There's all kinds of stuff. Hacking victim SolarWinds hires ex Homeland Security Krebs consultant. That was January 7th. What else is here? January 8th. All kinds of class action lawsuit. I'm going here to the 10th. What else here? 11th. I'm reading here. Trying to get through all this class action nonsense. What else? 14th. Anything? Come on, there's got to be news here. SolarWinds was a huge hack. JP Morgan defending the stock. All right, so they were hacked basically. And just reading here, any other information. All right, so let's look at technically on this chart. And there's a few different setups now. So Finviz has this June. We have a line here now, right about here. All right, so monthly. This was at October 31st, 18, about 15 range. Went up, back and forth, and it really dropped. And the big drop was in, what was this, March 2020, with the coronavirus, and this really took off. This went from like below 12 to 24, and then you had the drop. Now, on the weekly, too, look at it stack sideways. You have 15 holding. It touched on this big candle, 14 and 14 bounced right up. So that's nice support there, 14 and 15. Your oversold stochastics, look at this. You crossed over a little bit, so I like that. Looks like the low is in. You can see here, look at all these candles. Then you have the massive candle. Bounce, then another fake out. the lungs got faked out, then it went down, and then you touch your 14. It's looking like this is going to be inverse head and shoulders. This is your head, shoulder, shoulder. Look how we're swooping down. Remember back from the grave that I said? Back from the graveyard play. People think the stock's dead and buried. They always do. There'll be some sort of press release or this or something will happen. I've seen this like over 20 years. So this is rounding now. This is going to go up. And, immediately you want this to break 16. Then you have congestion at 18 here. See this 18 level? That's an important level. So immediately 16, I'm looking for 18, eventually 18 plus. And then, it depends how long. Could be a few months. I think we fill this gap and get back to 23. I think we'll get right back up there. Could be a while though. Could be one of these back and forth, and then eventually we start to climb up. Or if this gets better news and it's not as bad as they thought on the news. So let me just read here if there's anything. Yahoo Finance. Let's read back anything here. Look here in Yahoo. See what they have to say. I mean, there's all these class action lawsuits. I mean, it's never good, but just reading down, there's like so much junk to get through. I'm trying to find like any kind of good news here, any real news. Going down, don't see nothing. 5 days ago on the street.com, it says it found source of massive cyber attack. That was the news I saw. I remember this flash by it or under there was cyber attack. Source of coding believed to have used its recent corporate and government cyber attacks. Reverse engineered highly sophisticated malicious code used in recent cyber attack. That was 5 days ago. SolarWinds taps Krebs Stamos to help investigate hack. So they're working on that, and I believe they're going to look deep into this. U.S. cities, Russia as likely hacking culprit backing Trump. That was 12 days ago. When did this drop? This day was it was 11th and it was the 12th. So reading back here, looking for more. May have started Eastern Europe. They said. So I think they believe they said it was Russia now. Microsoft says SolarWinds hackers viewed portions of source code. SolarWinds, Datadog. All right, so that's the thing. It was the big hack, and we all know it. But I think they pushed it down too far again. I think eventually, this is a $1 billion company. They'll figure it out. They will, have the investigators do what they have to do to, make sure that doesn't happen again. See here, this line has broke this long-term trend line from March, way back down here. So, this is a longer-term play too. This is a swing. You have to move from here to here. We're starting to come back up here. You have support 1514, volume building here, and we'll see what happens on this. So, I think there's more upside than downside at this point. Insiders own this stock. They don't want it to go down. That's another thing too. So, all right. So that's it. Some stocks. There's swing ideas. Could be day trades too, but they have a potential for explosions and moves higher, especially the other ones. This is, more of a longer term. This doesn't move really in huge moves, but so that's it. So I found them for stocks. I think they have good upside. Take a look. Do your own investigation, where you think you might want to get in or not get in. And that's it. So please subscribe. Mike Cayman Trades on YouTube. Hit the like button. TikTok, Mike Frank III. Twitter, Mike Frank 007. Trade ideas referrals in my YouTube, StockTwits, Blake Cayman Trades, Instagram, Mike Frank98. That's it for this video. We are out and have a good night.